vegan, make peace, do good deeds, heaven Godspeed.
Today things are very different. I cannot lead you into battle. I do not give you laws or administer justice. But I can do something else. I can give you my heart and my devotion to these old islands and to all the peoples of our brotherhood of nations.
Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, A Life of Exceptional Service, Leadership and Devotion, Part 2 of 3. Continue watching to find out more.
Continue with your war, 'cause hell has been gathering all the fire to welcome you.
Noble viewers, we need daily reminders to remember God and experience our real divine self. The conscientious people of the United Kingdom are happy that you're seeking the same path the great enlightened masters have walked since ancient times. May heaven reveal its wonders to us all. My name is Barnaby. Welcome to our show, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, A Life of Exceptional Service, Leadership and Devotion, Part 2 of 3. At the end of 1936, when her father, His Majesty King George VI, inherited the throne, Elizabeth's life and destiny changed. She made her responsibilities and service to her nation and people priorities over her own personal interests. Due to King George VI's declining health, Princess Elizabeth increased her role as the heiress presumptive and often shared the royal responsibilities by stepping in for the king at public engagements. Between 1951 and early 1952, Elizabeth and Prince Philip visited Canada, the US representing the King. On February 6, 1952, while the royal couple was still visiting Kenya, Elizabeth received the devastating news that King George VI had passed away, and consequently Elizabeth would accede to the throne. The couple immediately returned to the United Kingdom and moved into Buckingham Palace. Queen Elizabeth's coronation took place at Westminster Abbey on June 2, 1953. To record the event, TV cameras were allowed inside the royal church for the first time. The coronation thus became the first transatlantic TV broadcast, being watched by 27 million people in the United Kingdom and an estimated 300 million worldwide. With her extraordinary strength and the love and support of her people, Her Majesty began a new chapter in governing Britain as Queen Elizabeth II. On November 24, 1953, the young Queen and her husband, the Duke of Edinburgh, embarked on their first Commonwealth tour, which lasted 7 months. Over her 70-year reign, the Queen visited 117 countries, including all 56 Commonwealth nations, and became the most widely travelled state leader in the world. Queen Elizabeth's extensive travel itinerary was one of the diplomatic vehicles she used for reaching out to her country's opponents and finding common ground to help achieve global peace and understanding. She sought to strengthen relations among nations, influence public opinion, and improve bilateral trade. She displayed admirable courage and determination during her visits to the Republic of Ghana in 1961 and to Canada in 1964, as both were conducted amid social and political tensions that put her safety at risk. Many of Her Majesty's engagements and thoughtful gestures conveyed powerful symbolism to reconcile past conflicts and to start the healing process towards lasting peace. In May 1965, she and her husband made the first visit of a British monarch to Germany since 1913 to bring the two nations back together from the rift caused by war 2 decades earlier. Her friendliness and grace won the hearts of the German people. The Queen's trip to the former Yugoslavia in 1972 was the first visit of a British monarch to a communist country, and the Yugoslavs gave her a cheerful, hearty welcome. In 1986, Queen Elizabeth became the first British monarch to be the guest of China. Her visit promoted the peaceful process of returning Hong Kong to China in 1997 after the expiration of a 99-year lease. Her diplomatic efforts deepened understanding of bilateral culture and history and strengthened relations between Great Britain and China. In 1994, Queen Elizabeth visited the Russian Federation, where His Majesty Tsar Nicholas II, a distant cousin of both the Queen and Prince Philip, was executed with his family in 1918. The visit softened the antagonism between the West and Russia and quietly helped to promote peace and stability in the world. Another significant diplomatic endeavour was the Queen's state visit to the Republic of Ireland in May 2011, when she became the first British monarch to visit Ireland since the country gained its independence nearly a century earlier. The trip was arranged to applaud the success of the Northern Ireland peace process. In her capacity as monarch, Queen Elizabeth made great efforts to mend the wrongdoing perpetrated during the days of the British Empire. In the 1960s and 70s, a wave of decolonisation swept across Africa, the Caribbean and Asia. The Queen oversaw the efforts of many countries to gain independence and become self-governing nations. The British Empire quickly evolved into the Commonwealth of Nations, which has grown into an entity that contains 56 member states. In 1995, on the invitation of His Excellency Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa, the Queen made a state visit and awarded Mr. Mandela with the prestigious British Order of Merit, showing her wholehearted support of his noble endeavour in promoting racial reconciliation, democracy and social justice. During her reign, Queen Elizabeth also made many other pioneering moves and gestures. In 2012, she extended the hand of friendship to the Honourable Martin McGuinness, the former commander of the Irish Republican Army and then Deputy First Minister of Northern Ireland. The handshake was considered a historical moment, signifying the beginning of a new, peaceful relationship. Shortly after the 9/11 tragedy in the US, she made her first visit to a British mosque in the small industrial town of Scunthorpe. Thus it's not surprising that upon hearing the sad news of her passing, the British Muslim community found many ways to mourn and honour the late Queen, saying that they are forever grateful to her for her support of their community. In step with a rapidly changing global society, Queen Elizabeth actively adapted her monarchy to the times. For example, according to a public statement by the Right Honourable Lord Williams of Mostyn, Her Majesty had no objection to government's view that in determining the line of succession to the throne, daughters and sons should be treated in the same way. The comment was designed to urge the British Parliament to end the age-old royal practice of male preference, and to make succession to the crown not dependent on gender. She, the titular head of the Church of England, also modified her view on divorce and remarriage. Starting in 1961, the Queen generously made the Royal Collection, the world's largest private art collection, accessible to the public. During her Australia and New Zealand tour in 1970, she initiated the impromptu royal walkabout to meet ordinary people. The practice changed the way the royals met the public and lasted for the rest of her life. Also, in November 1992, steering away from royal tradition, Queen Elizabeth announced via her Prime Minister, His Excellency Sir John Major, that she and other members of the royal family had volunteered to pay taxes on their private income. In 1993, she opened Buckingham Palace to the public each summer, and her garden parties included guests from all walks of life. Queen Elizabeth broadcast her initial royal Christmas message in 1957, representing the first television appearance of a British monarch.
Today things are very different. I cannot lead you into battle. I do not give you laws or administer justice. But I can do something else. I can give you my heart and my devotion to these old islands and to all the peoples of our brotherhood of nations. I believe in our qualities and in our strength. I believe that together we can set an example to the world which will encourage upright people everywhere. I hope that 1958 may bring you God's blessing and all the things you long for. And so I wish you all, young and old, wherever you may be, all the fun and enjoyment and the peace of a very happy Christmas.
The Queen was open to the royal family's private life being filmed, and even granted the BBC access to many hours of homemade private footage recorded by her, her parents, and her husband. In line with fast developing technology and ever-evolving social media platforms, the royal household launched its own website in 1997 and its YouTube channel in 2007, followed by a Twitter account in 2009 and Facebook and Flickr accounts the following year.
Vegan, 'cause we hate murdering.
Distinguished viewers, thank you for your company today during our show, Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, A Life of Exceptional Service, Leadership and Devotion, Part 2 of 3. Please return next Thursday, December 15th for Part 3. Up next is Rewiring the Brain to Build Happiness, right after noteworthy news. May the infinite light of the divine ever shine upon you and your loved ones.
Be vegan, make peace, do good deeds. Hell not reach.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/MOS.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule et suprememastertv.com/MOS.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule y suprememastertv.com/MOS.
I nostri programmi sono offerti in molte lingue. Consultate suprememastertv.com/schedule e suprememastertv.com/MOS